Well, illegals rage into this country to rape and pillage, assault our police officers, and break all the laws that our country has established. They get simply a slap on the wrist and barely any time in prison. Steve Bannon, on the other hand, is an American patriot. He's devoted to seeing the working class get a fair shot and a fair voice in this country. He has stood behind Donald Trump as a man and a movement. The ultimate crime you can commit under the Biden-Harris administration is to be an outspoken, unapologetic American, like he is. Joining us now is someone who knows him very well, his daughter, CEO of the War Room podcast, Captain Maureen Bannon. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me on again, Chanel.
Maureen, it's a pleasure to have you back on. Can't wait to see your dad freed of this ridiculous regime. Talk to us about what is going on now. He's supposed to get out soon, but there seems to be all these roadblocks that officials are placing, excuses. What's going on?
Correct. So on August 29th, 2024, my dad filed a motion to reimpose bail or impose a period of supervised release, which supervised release would be early release under home confinement. The government response to his motion has been pending for over 75 days, and he was notified on Friday that he is eligible for early release to home confinement. However, the Bureau of Prisons is now stating that there's not enough time left in his sentence to set up the home confinement. So they need basically 30 days or more in order to set it up, is what they're saying. And the fact that it's within 10 days of his actual release date, that they don't have enough time to set it up. So instead of being out in under home confinement, he is sitting in prison, being illegally detained until what was originally his release date. So I want to make that very clear. You know, people say, well, his original release date was October 29th. Since he is eligible for early release under the First Step Act, that would move up his release date from prison. So the fact that he is still sitting in Danbury, despite being eligible for early release under the First Step Act, means that he is being illegally detained.
They just sat on this application. All they had to do was process his application, and they would have had enough time. This is ridiculous.
Correct. And the fact that it's blatantly clear that they are doing this because they want to keep him in prison and keep such an influential voice in this movement silenced. But the ironic thing is they thought that they were silencing him by putting him in Danbury for 4 months. He hasn't been silenced. His voice has been heard. Just because it hasn't been heard from behind the mic doesn't mean that it hasn't been heard. It's been heard through me, the numerous guest hosts War Room's had, the exclusives that he's done through the media. His voice has still been heard, and they think that keeping him in there another week is going to silence him. It's only going to amplify his voice when he does get out on October 29th. But I call on the Bureau of Prisons to actually do the right thing and release him because he qualifies for early release under the First Step Act. It just shows that they want to silence him, and they will jail and continue to keep illegally detaining their opponents or people that get the truth out. And I find it ironic that Kamala Harris went on Fox News and said that Donald Trump is going to jail his political opponents and those that don't agree with him, when in fact, that is actually what the queen of incarceration is doing. She is illegally detaining my father. So she's deflecting everything that she actually does onto Donald Trump.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.